What's the story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
Today, Kino reads us the story of Regina and her big mistake.
It's not a mistake. I can fix it, muttered Regina. She started to draw a line under the tree.
Then Robert Guillaume reads us the story of King, who could not tell a lie.
You did your best, son. And your best is good enough to present to the emperor.
The little girl tries to sleep in the bedtime story Annie Potts reads.
Cricket, said the night wind, will you please stop playing so Mockingbird will stop singing so the child can go to sleep?
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bing so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by Los Angeles.
What's the story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
In our first story, we'll see how many animals can fit in a Taramak.
Who are you? I am the hare who jumps in the air. Let's live together.
Then, little Richard will tell us why little Lumpty's mother told him not to climb the wall.
Don't ever do that, Lumpty's mother said. Remember all the king's horses and all the king's men? They couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again.
In our last story, the grasshopper likes to sing and dance while the ants work away.
All through the long, lazy summer months, the grasshoppers went on singing. All the world owes me a living. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bing so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support from viewers like you.
What's the story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
In our first story, James Eckhouse reads about a little girl who wants attention and about 7 brothers who have magic powers. And Carl Weintraub will tell us about a little ant with a big, big voice.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bing so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television.
I say pepperoni. Pepperoni, no. Pepperoni.